Hello and welcome to another edition of DAF, Disabled Advice for Theme Park Travelers. Very excited to talk to you guys today as we just got back from the theme parks. After a little bit of a hiatus, we had some blockout dates, so we couldn't go. One real quick mention, I know many of you who are probably watching this video, Disney is drastically changing its Disability Access Service Pass. I don't have all the details. I don't know how it's going to work yet. There's stuff out there on the official website, and honestly, I'm a little nervous because it sounds like my condition may no longer be qualifying for a disability access service, and that makes me a little sad and a little nervous because it's really makes a difference to helping me get through the parks. We did an 8:45 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. and I got to tell you, without the disability access service pass, I don't think I could have pulled that off. It just wouldn't have been possible. But enough on that. Other channels are covering it. Please go look at them. If you need a link to some of those, I will certainly give it to you in the comments below. But I thought I'd give you guys kind of some grades today on this recent trip and sort of categorize where I went and help you out with those and give them, letter grades on it. I think that might be helpful for you. So the first thing is transportation. We did both the monorail and the ferry boat. Both of those get A's. Ramps everywhere, cast members everywhere. They tell you where to go, how to go. They'll help guide you. They'll put you in the right places. You don't have to think. You don't have to stress. Disney Transportation, the monorail, and the ferry boats do a wonderful job of helping you. So transportation certainly gets an A, absolutely without question. Real briefly on Epcot, we did a few things. We did Soarin', which is a kind of a simulator hang glider ride, and we also did Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a roller coaster in the dark. Um, Please, if you're going to go on these rides, make sure you check the physical limitations. Read the warnings because if you have issues, you may not be able to ride them. But as far as access to these rides, where you can get to them if you feel you can handle it, both get A's. They have ramps. Everything walks up. They let you take your ECV or wheelchair right to the very front of the line after waiting in line. You don't have to walk anywhere. It's usually a 20 or 30 step to get onto the ride itself. Guardians especially is very friendly towards, I would say, heavier set individuals like myself. Lots of room. You don't feel squished. You don't feel, confined, and it's just an awesome ride. But as far as access to those, both of those get an A, absolutely. I also wanted to kind of go over shows or photo opportunities. All of these really do get A's. We did Mickey's PhilharMagic as well as the Hall of Presidents, and we got our picture taken with the new Walt statue in Epcot. Again, ramps everywhere, cast members telling you right where to go, easy to get to, not a lot of walking once you have to get off your ECV. Just there, it's great. Those things are awesome, and they're a great way to sort of recharge yourself. You can take 20 minutes and just sit in a nice air conditioned theater and watch a fun show. And it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's entertaining and you can relax and enjoy it. Especially if you got little ones, they really like a lot of that stuff. I personally, Hall of Presidents junkie. Don't ever miss it if I'm going there. I love America and I love its history. So that's a great one. It's almost a must see for me. Um, One of the cool things we did this time was lunch. We actually ate lunch at the Contemporary Hotel at Steakhouse 71. Won't go into the menu or the food. It's awesome. Read reviews on it. You can Google it. Wonderful time. Great service. We really enjoyed it. But access wise was great too. If you really need it, they will let you take your wheelchair or your scooter directly to a table. You do have to request when you make your reservation, handicap accessible. But if you can walk, if you can get out of your ECV because you're able to, they will make you park it up a little bit, probably about a 30-step walk. And they have a little area where people park strollers, wheelchairs, scooters, things of that nature. Nice thing about that area was it had electrical outlets. So we actually, while we had a lovely lunch, took about an hour and 15 minutes. We charged our scooters. We just, they were sitting there anyway. We plugged them into the wall, borrowed a little electricity from Disney, and, recharged our scooters. After that, we decided, well, you know what? Let's just keep letting them charge back up. And we took the elevator up to the fourth floor of the Contemporary. And they have a little shopping area and a little kind of dry goods and sundries and little desserty thing, like a bakery kind of a thing. It was great. And then the beautiful views of the lake. They have a lovely cocktail bar lounge there called the Outer Rim. If you're so inclined for adult beverages, you can just sort of chill out there and just look at the beautiful scenery. But we were able to get about 2.5 hours of charge on our scooters, and that really helped us extend our day. Uh, One of the things you'll learn if you're new to getting scooters is, and you're not renting them, is charge is everything. I mean, if you're going all day, you're going to drain your battery. They're not made to go nonstop for 24 hours. They're made to go, you know, 5 to 12 hours at most, depending on how you're using them. So you do need to stop and recharge them from time to time. And Steakhouse 71 and the Contemporary was a great place to do that. We recharged our scooter batteries as well as our personal batteries. After that, we wound up in Fantasyland, and we actually did Ariel's, The Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Small World. Small World and Ariel both get A's. Again, easy ramps. The everything's available through your scooter. You can take your scooter through the line in Voyage of the Little Mermaid. They take you right to the end. A cast member helps you park them, and then they put you right onto the ride. It's probably about a 5-step walk to get to the ride, and they have one of those. It's an omni mover, so they got a rampway. Small World's a little different. A little tip to that is you don't go to the main line on Small World. You actually go to the exit. There'll be a cast member there, and you'll say, "Hey, I know we can't take our scooters through," and he'll be like, "Okay, are you doing standby line?" And we said yes, and he let us go down the exit ramp, which is very easy to navigate on a scooter, and you park it there. Another cast member meets you down there, and then she's like, "Okay, park your scooters there," and you go down, and they'll give you the special access boat, which has actually big chairs instead of crawling down into the boat, which is thankful for me because stepping down into those little boats is really, really hard for me. So both of those get A's. Easy rides to do from a disabled perspective. Seven Dwarves, I'm going to give a C, and here's why. The line itself is easy. You can take your scooter through it. They'll let you. If you qualify for a disability access service pass, definitely use it for this, or lightning lane it if you can afford it. That line gets insane. 90, 100 minutes, easy, no problem. Even the lightning lane sometimes gets busy. Um, but you can take your scooter through it, and that's fine. The reason I give the whole overall thing a C is because uh, you have to climb down into the cart. It's a roller coaster, so you have to climb down into it. It's very narrow. It's hard to get in. For the first time in a long time, I actually could not do it. My legs were cramping up. My knees were a little weak. We'd been going for a long time. We'd been going all day. And so I was physically not able to even get in. So I actually stopped and I said, "Look, I'm going to take the chicken exit," and got off and waited. The rest of the family rode, but I just couldn't do it. And so it's not a friendly ride to people who have movement issues or leg issues or cramping, or if you're a heavy set individual like myself. It's not a friendly ride. It really isn't. So it gets a C on that, to be truly honest with you. Um, we sort of then headed over to Tomorrowland, and we did Cosmic Rays for dinner. And I'm not going to go into the food or anything like that. There's plenty of reviews out there on that. But access wise, so there are ramps to get inside, but the inside seating area is really not friendly. I actually give this a D. The tables are so close, you cannot navigate your scooter through it. There's no way. You have to hope you find a table on the outside area, the outer rim of the inside seating. Now, there is outside seating, which is much more friendly. And on days like, yesterday where, the temperature was in the 70s, and that's wonderful. Uh, but if you've ever been to the theme parks in July or August when the temperature is 98 degrees with a 98% humidity, sitting outside is miserable experience, just miserable, especially disabled. So I give Cosmic Rays a D. Again, not on the food, solely on access as a disabled person. We wound up at the end of the night at Tomorrowland, and we were pretty stoked because strangely enough, we're able to get a Tron virtual queue uh, at like 2:30 in the afternoon, which was crazy. And then we didn't wind up getting called for it till about 9:30. Um, but we were able to park our scooters in Tomorrowland and find some outlets. If you find an outlet, you can charge your scooter. A cast member might ask you to move them. most of the time they don't. Again, as I said earlier, charging if you're going all day in a park is really sort of critical on your scooter. You need to stop and charge them. They're not made to go nonstop, and they will go dead on you. And that's the last thing you want to do is be pushing a scooter through the park manually. No fun. Um, so we actually were able to find a spot. We parked them. We charged them. We are fortunate enough that we can walk a little bit without getting fatigued. And the nice thing about Tomorrowland is a lot of the rides are real close to each other. The Tomorrowland Transit Authority and the Carousel of Progress and Buzz Lightyear, they're all within a 30 or 40 step walk of each other. Uh, so that's a great place to sort of find that parking spot to charge your scooter, and then spend an hour and a half on rides or whatever. Um, so Tomorrowland's a really friendly area for that. I will tell you that ride wise, we only did Tomorrowland Transit Authority and Carousel of Progress. Both Carousel of Progress gets an A. It's a theater, it's a show, just like the other ones. No issues. You can even drive. If you're not going to charge your scooter, you can even take your scooter and go right up, and they'll just let you drive on to the carousel. It's pretty cool. Um, the TTA, I'm going to give that a B because they've got these escalators that take you up to the top, and sometimes they're not working. It's old. It's been, I think, almost an original, or pretty close to it, and sometimes those aren't working. And boy, you start talking about a 40-degree incline or a 40-degree downcline to come off that ride. Whew, it's a bit rough. So I do give it a B, just because it can be dicey getting on and off of those things. Little trip on the to Tomorrowland Transit Authority, you can go on that thing as much as you want. Once you're on it, if you just go like this to the cast member, they'll let you ride right again. And we did that. While our Tron wasn't quite ready, so we just rode that over and over and over again. Tron. I hate to give it an F. I really do. I love the ride. Um, it is terrible from a disabled person's aspect as far as the line itself. Ride is an A. Q is an F. So maybe it deserves a D overall. They will not let you take your scooter all the way into the ride. They will stop you at a certain point and just shut you down. And they'll say, oh, you can take a wheelchair. Well, everything inside is like 30-degree ramps up and down. Miserable. My arms get tired from trying to help myself. My daughter, who a lot of times comes with me to help me on those situations, she's getting tired trying to help me or push me. The line itself is just god awful for a disabled person. Ride is fantastic. You have to wait a little bit, but they actually have cars in the back where you can just sit like you're sitting in a regular seat and enjoy the ride. It's fantastic. But yeah, the line itself, F. So maybe overall a D. Just not a fun experience. I don't know if I'll go on it again, which sucks because I love that IP. I love that. I've loved Tron since it was a kid, and in 1982 when it first came out, I was all over it. Still one of my favorite concepts, but it's just not disabled person friendly. Really, I don't have any other words how to say that. So I'm gonna post some shorts of my TikTok videos. I'm gonna put those on the YouTube Shorts here, so you can check out the actual live experiences of that. Lesson learned from that. I've been informed that I need to get a microphone because you can't hardly hear me. And I wasn't talking loud. I don't want to be that person that's yelling in the middle of a ride into my TikTok. I'm just not wired that way. But so I was trying to be respectful of people around me, but apparently I need to get a microphone. So I will be working on that as well. Okay? Hey, if you stayed along this long, thanks so much. Truly appreciate it. Share this page with anyone you know that you think might benefit from it. I appreciate all of you. You can also check out my TikTok. It's linked in the YouTube, and I'm going to put a bunch of the videos on Shorts. All right, y'all. Thanks. Have a great day.